Hey there, guys. Good morning. I'm popping in for just a short while to do a quick stencil. Let me see if you can see it. I just got these stencils in. Find them out at your local craft store. I got mine on Amazon, and these, feel pretty good. We're going to see how they hold up. There's so many sayings here. Love this one. Ah, this is cute too. So there's so many cute ones. I just want to try out one using a makeup brush. Not a makeup brush, a little makeup sponge. Okay. I know I need to share the broadcast out, and I wanted to see how one of these brushes works. This is another Amazon um, special that I was introduced to that I want to try and see. So I'm going to pop in my paint cam. Let's make sure we got it going in the right direction. And boop, just like that. Love it. Hope you're doing well. This is Bernade Flournoy. For those of you that are new or catching this on the replay, you know how to fast forward through all of this foolishness. But we're just popping in. I have a sheet of, I want to say Bristol. It's kind of like a thin poster board. And I could try it on canvas. Let's see. This one is kind of for the cutesy. This pack was kind of for the cutesy Easter stuff. Carrots for sale. Now I want to paint a carrot. Those are kind of cute. A cute, whimsical carrot. Let's see here. This is cute. This is a good pack, I want to say, for the kids. Especially if you have them trace it onto their surface with a pencil. I also have another pack. Comes in this, but I slipped it in one of these plastic packs. Let's see, I don't know if it's reading correctly. Maybe if I turn it the wrong way for me. So it could be, don't stop until you're proud. This is another motivational pack. Let me turn it this way. This will be better for you. Stronger than a storm. And these are not that large. Your only limit is you. And these are 8 inches by 8 inches. There's so many out there for the various seasons, holidays, occasions. Okay. So those are just a couple. Let me just kind of pick inside the pack here. I think I'm going to just do one of those. All right, what is this? Your only limit is you. Let's try that. Okay, so I am trying to see if I want to do it on the canvas. Let me make sure I put this all together because at the end, I'll be looking for it. So let me plop that there. There are also some that are a little bit larger. I want to say this is, they say 10 inch. So I don't know if the edge, well, I've got an 8 by 10 right here. The edge is 10 inches. I think the image is the 10-inch size. So you can use part of one, on a canvas some kind of way. But they're good to have. And I've used some stencils years ago, but so we're going to reintroduce them into the mix. All right, I'm just going to kind of wipe this little water out from before. I don't know what you're doing today. I just usually like to pop on early, but today I just needed to rest. I hope you're giving yourself that permission, especially since I don't have like a class on here on Saturdays. I pop on. And so until I get some fans, followers that are like, okay, Bernade, yep, if you could just pop on at 8 every Saturday, We'll be there. Because I'm up. I'm ready. But today I just chilled. Okay. So even sometimes you don't know you've got a fan until years later they might pop on and say something. You know what? I didn't plug in my mic. All right. You know I like to wet everything down. Let me angle you down right here. I like to wet everything down. Let's see if I can get some more light back on this back end here so we can help our viewers see everything. Okay. So let me just breathe. Sometimes you got to make sure you're doing that. And I've got my little makeup sponge here. I'm going to wet this just a little bit. You might want to have a plate. Matter of fact, I'm going to just take a little bit of water, put it in my palm. I don't want it to absorb a lot. So I'm just going to tap on it and I'm going to press it out. Because I want this to be moist so it's not soaking in the paint right away. Now the paint is going in there, but there is actually now some water to fill those voids. You know what, guys? I forgot to share. Let me go ahead and share this out. It is showing that I am actually live on YouTube. Hi, YouTube, which is cool. Let me make sure I share it out on Facebook because this is going to be super fast. Let's see. What can I do really, really fast? You know, all the canvas that's around this place here, y'all. This is what I'm going to do real, real fast. How about that? And I don't have one that says spring. I thought I did, but let me hit this really, really quickly. I'm just going to use some orange right quick. That's the Craft Smart Pure Pumpkin. All right, let me go to my page and let me share this out. Is it live on here? Yep, there's the link. Let me send the people here. Copy link. Let me see if I can share it into the group. Share to my story. Share to, I guess I could share to the Painted Pose page. Why do I need to switch, y'all, to share it? Oh. We're going to try this. Oh, there we go. It is sharing somewhere, y'all. All right. Okay, I like the way this feels right away, guys. Let me go ahead and leave. All right. I really do like the way this. All right. Uh-oh, is it acting up? It's acting up on me now. All right. I don't know. I was getting some feedback on there, but we're going to go ahead. And I'm realizing that I'm not on the view. So whatever surface that you're going to put it on, you want to make sure you prepare that surface. And you know I've got my hair dryer right here. Now this is wood, so the paint is soaking in really, really fast over here for this first coat. The second coat, not so much. But this little brush here, I like this. Okay. It feels kind of durable. It's kind of firm, which is cool. Now, of course, the brushes will soak up some of that paint. All right, since that first coat is down, now this is not necessarily a second coat. This is just me going over to fill any of the voids. Getting the big surface, and then I'm going along the edge, the main surface. Okay, and then we will, because I want you to see if you have the right tool, the right material, uh, you can crank some of these out. You know, you can get this done with a little bit of ease. I'm not saying it's easy necessarily, because it is still some work, some time, but not high skill, right? For this part. Now, if we were actually illustrating a butterfly, I just wanted to do one. And I'm sitting here looking at y'all looking at me, and y'all not seeing what I'm doing down here. Hold on. Let me do this part again. Okay. And I'm glad I have this light over here to kind of help with the visual. I've got a little paint still in my brush, so I am just trying to get it out. And I'm going to go back and smooth. Okay. So no matter what you see me do, I may paint erratically, but I like to go back and smooth that surface out. Unless, of course, we want that highly textured. All right, so this, right now I'm just going to dip my brush in the water and set it to the side. Okay, so this right now, I can go ahead, quickly hit this with the hair dryer. I love to take those to the paint parties now because it speeds the next step along. And even though it's just me here, if you have maybe 4 painters that need theirs dry, you just kind of go up a little bit and it just kind of spreads that air along to move the process along faster. All right, so the surface is kind of dry to the touch. I'm going to set this aside for one moment. So now let's see. Your only, can we do limit on here? If we did your only and then limit your, this is interesting. That might not work on this. Your, and then maybe only down here. And then let's see where limit would go. That would be right over the word your. So that won't work for this, but that is okay because I have my little bunny ones. And I have my decorative mandala ones. Okay, so what I might do, there are a couple of these little voids, and I know that happens with the stencil, so you might want to check that. So, what do you call it? Little dangling little voids from the machine. All right, so this is fresh out of the package, and I see that there are a couple of little dots and O's. More than a couple. So you might want to check that before you actually put your paint on here. Well, I'm glad we're taking a peek at this now. All right, so I think we got most of the, so now this could easily go right on top of this here. You want, of course, center everything unless you don't want it centered for whatever reason. All right, so I am Centering it now. What color? What color? What color? Maybe I'll do a little pink and maybe a little yellow ombre. Let me get a little bit of that out. Brush a little bit onto my reusable paint. And I'm going to put it on this side. Let me get I'm just going to use the tip. So I'm going to go to the lighter color first. I don't need that much, but I am just going to spread that out here. So I'm just kind of wiping it off right here. I'm going to go in because we do have a lot of holes there. All right. So I'm just going to wet it and slide that paint off. Go in and get a little bit of this pink. Uh-oh, this feels like a big old hunk of... It is. Y'all, this is some foolishness. We're just going to pull it on out. A big old hunk of... Now, we only live, y'all. I'm going to leave it alone. It's not messing with me. I'm going to leave it alone. It's a big old hunk of paint booger. While we on live. Okay. So, I am going to take this part. My little finger will go right here. I'm just going to spread this, wipe this off here because, you know, I don't like to waste anything. All right, let me dry that off and let's go. So I'm going to dab some of that off. I should tape this down. Where's the shoulds? I'm looking right now for my tape. Yep, let's do this smart. I'm going to put a little piece of tape there. Put a little piece there because I will regret it. All right. We're going to dab, 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 dab. Just vertical. Do not do any sideways anything. Just vertical. Vertical. I'm going to get a little bit more paint. Probably need to have that over here so you can see. I'm going to go dab in here and get a little bit more paint. Now, I am not the stencil professional, but I like using them every now and again. Okay? And we just want just a little bit of variation back there in the background. Now I'm getting into the yellow. Straight up and down. And it's not going to be a strong pattern. That's what I'm trying to say. Honey, I know those words just hang and they run around in that brain and they try to come out. It's not going to be a strong pattern. It's going to be very subtle and dainty. And I learned this other tip a couple years ago from Patricia Jones to have the baby wipes. Let me off of it. Have the baby wipes. I'm just going to squeeze out a little bit more just for time's sake. So I spread it around real fast because there was a lot of paint on there. So let me go back over here. There's a little bit of paint on this part here. And you can kind of see that you're blending it the more you kind of tap and lift up, but you're not mixing it side to side. All right, let me make sure I did get something else over here. And it's going to be so subtle. Now you might want to take a peek and check it before you completely pull that tape off. I think I got all the paint. I'm going to squeeze out just a little bit more. Okay. And I bet you adding a little bit of purple would make this nice too. Squeeze out just a little bit more paint. Whoops. Now I already know that's going to be a for real oopsie. Because I didn't dab enough off. Okay, I can't wait to see this blend. Let's take a little peek back here. Let's move this over. I don't want to really move that tape, but let's take a little bit of a peek. It's very subtle. I think I need a little bit more. So let's go on in and get a little bit more. And let's see if we can move it along a bit faster. Let's go on up in here. Yellow, yellow, yellow. We're going to do some bold yellow right on top. Because quiet as it's kept, that magenta and that yellow makes an orange. So that's probably why it's not as noticeable as I would like it to be. So now we're just going in heavy with some of this yellow. And I knew it as I was doing this, like, you know what? I got to make sure we can still see this. But I don't have any paint right there. That's why I said, what is going on there? Why is that so bland? All right, so I'm dabbing. Let me bring this close. I'm dabbing it in the paint, but I'm kind of spreading it out so then it's not a big glob right here. Let me hold this down with my little finger. All right, we should be able to see something now when we lift this up. So we'll have still some of that pink, but not a lot. It's going to be more yellow now. It's going to pop a little more. All right, y'all. And I'm trying not to get that pink, even though I'll probably still have some of it in there. And that's the good thing about creating. You know, you go in with a little bit of a plan, but sometimes it's the stuff that happens in the moment that creates more of a delight and something better than you ever thought about. All right, so I think we've got enough now. I think I've squeezed out just about all the yellow out of my makeup brush, and we're just going for it, okay? All right. Nothing to write home about, but it's very subtle, and I think that it would be nice to have some white writing on top of that. Let me set that to the side, everybody. Now, if I had a nice handwriting, then I would write something nice. Let's see what other goodies we have in our collection. Definitely won't be doing anything bunny. Here's a welcome spring. But I think it's going to be too large for this. So you might want to make sure when you're ordering your stencils that you have some that are a little larger like this, and then some that are, of course, a little smaller. Let's see. Because the good thing about this is you can combine them. Let's see if the word dream will work. Dreams? Well, we can do the word dreams. All right. Now, this paint still will probably be just a little bit damp, but I don't think it's damp enough to cause any damage. Just make sure. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get a little white paint. I may have dipped a little too heartily, but we're cleaning this out, and we're going to squeeze out a little bit of white, and we're going to keep it moving. And of course, then we could cover it with some glitter. By choice, of course. I'm not going to use any more of that orange, so I think we're good. I'm just going straight in, just pulling that out back there. I think that should be enough for the size of surface that we have. Okay, so just wiping that off there, and we're gonna go for it. I'm patting. Okay, you want that surface to be even. And then let's go for it. And straight up and down. Probably should put a piece of tape right there, and I will do that while I'm thinking about it. We've been down this road before. All right, get a little bit more white paint. Dab, 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 dab. Boy, it's been a moment since I've used this. So I'm going over the first one, and then I'm gonna go back again. Make sure you stay on that stencil. And if you think that you can't, then you might want to tape that area off even more. And my index finger, I'm kind of making sure I'm getting a little bit more paint right there along that index finger, because that's my guide hand right here. And I'm really trying to just press that in. So it's a different kind of finger painting with this sponge. Now you could do some of this with just a regular paper towel to a certain extent. And of course, they've got, more fancy materials that you could do. So look up some stenciling if you think this might be the way that you might want to go. And right now, I am really just pressing right here. All right. I want to peel it up and see what it's looking like. I need to get some more paint in these little smaller areas without them, bleeding through or going up underneath the stencil. So I'm pressing right along the bottom. I'm glad we peeked. Now you can go back and do some work with the brush. Not quite the same. Go in here, go in this lid just a little bit. Not quite the same. All right, I'm going to try not to have too much paint, but some of these little areas are super tiny. So my little sponge is not working, and I'm hoping that with the very little bit of paint that I have, it's not really going up underneath the stencil, but we'll know when we lift it up here. I'm just going along some of these little areas, starting on top of the stencil and then just kind of blending it down up in there. We'll see. All right, so what we thought was going to be real quick is okay, and it's relaxing and it's fun. All right, I think we're okay. Now this probably needs a little bit more paint over here. And I don't have a lot on here on my brush, just like a little whimsical amount. Let's see. You can really catch the top of these letters right here. Top of that S. And see if we can notice the difference. All right, time for the reveal on this one. Let's pull that over there. Okay, here we are. Just dreams. Let me lift this up. All right, I think that's okay. That'll work. So a little bit of stencil in the background, a little bit of stencil in the foreground, and of course, if you want to get your fine tip of the brush, go ahead and close all those letters up. You can do that, but you don't have to. Let me set this to the side. I'm enjoying the way this is looking here. This is just one more little option. Okay, so let me sit that over there. That's something that needs to be rinsed off. But I have this other. Okay, let me sit this right here. Hopefully that stays on camera. And then this is still that Bristol. I'll have to find the exact name of it. Your only limit is you. And maybe it could be off to the side. And then you could maybe paint something above it or below it. But of course, once again, you can have some kind of stencil to help you with that. Since I have the tape, I am going to use the tape because it is super helpful. And like I said, if you need to, you can tape along the whole edge if you are afraid of getting any paint outside the line. I'm just going to go ahead with what I have. We got a little pink right here. And I'll probably need to add a little bit more, but we're going for it. Boom, 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 boom. Might need to slide this over so you can see it a little bit better. Okay. Not a lot of paint. Let me squeeze out a little bit more. Okay. I'm trying not to spread it out in a wide area, but I want a nice, solid covering. And down and up, down and up. And remember, my sponge is a little wet, and it had still a little bit of white still in it. Trying to get to those corners. And I'm going to try to add a little bit more paint, just to help me move along a little bit faster. But that may come at a cost. And this is going to have like a little rustic look to it. Now, what if I put out a little bit of blue? I think that would be kind of cool. Then that kind of fade into purple a little bit. All right, I'm just going back to press down where I was. And because it's on paper, it does kind of soak up a little fast. Because there's not a lot of water, just the paint. And there's not a lot of paint. Okay, let me squeeze out a little bit of, you know what, since I got this purple right here. What is this? Apple Barrel Velvet Crush. I'm going to squeeze out just a little bit of that. That's what we're saying. Oh, good gracious. All right, let me make sure I've got all the pink that I want right here. Make sure before we get this purple up in here that we have covered all of our pink areas. Well, I like trying new things. This is something that I knew about, and I tried it a little bit before, but it has been a moment. Y-O-U. Okay, so here we go. The only limit is you. And I'm just going over there. I've got a little purple in here, not a lot. All right, here we go. We're going for it. And I'm just going along trying to press in these little teeny tiny areas. All right, I didn't mean to bring the purple up here, but since the purple is up here, y'all, we're going for it. All right. There we go. Then get this little corner right here. Because basically it's still a little bit of water there. So we're getting a little bit of paint on our fingers. Let's wipe that off. And let's go for it. Now, of course, this is the back of what we were using before. Let me just put that over here. Now, if we were really doing this for a sign, I would have you check it first. But this is for us. This is art practice. I still have one stencil in its place. Your only limit is you. So we just made that little sign. How fun is that? Okay. I think what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and switch this back over here. Okay. Your only limit is you. Let me twist this way. That's cute. It's got a little bit of ombre. Not a lot. It's very subtle. Okay. Let's try not to knock everything over here. Listen, excuse me. We're fighting with some of our studio props. I don't know. They have an attitude. You know what? Let me bring them on camera. There we go. This will be in a nice white frame with your studio prop. Still have the tag on it. Maybe that's why they're upset. Okay, this is your day. Turn for the camera. This is your day. All right. Your only limit is you. And I'm trying to make sure I keep that in mind as I'm working too. And here's the other one. Too quick, fast, fun stencils. They could be combined, couldn't they? I have a butterfly, a smaller butterfly around that we could definitely use as a stencil. We're going to move you real close. All right, we're going to shift you down just a smidge. All right. Move the paint out of the way. And we are done. I don't even know if I introduced myself. I don't even know anymore. We just got in here and started throwing this paint around. Okay. Try to make sure I lined it up a little bit. There we go. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm signing off. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you for joining me. Keep painting. Keep painting. Keep painting. Keep practicing. Get in there and make those mistakes. And sometimes out of the mistakes, beautiful stuff arises. Beautiful stuff arises. Now these are things that I was painting when I really did not feel like painting. Sometimes y'all, I'm trying to shift, right? There we go. That's better. I don't know what I'm doing. We're trying to get it here, right? There we go. I think we're figuring it out now. There we go. Trying to pull it out. There we go, y'all. Get in there and paint. Get in there and create. It's very important that you do. Do something that makes your heart smile and come alive, and do something that makes somebody else smile as well. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for popping in.